Polymers are the huge macromolecules which is made up of n number of monomers. That means monomers undergoes polymerization reactions, either addition or a condensation polymerization, and they are giving respective polymers. So here ethylene, styrene, vinyl chloride are represented here as a monomers. These monomers are from vinyl group. They are having active pi bond. These monomers undergoes free radical addition polymerization reaction, and they are giving respective polymers. Next, classification of plastics. Plastics which becomes that means polymers which becomes soft on heating, which becomes hard on cooling, are called as a thermoplastics. But thermosetting polymers are resulted as a infusible mass on heating. And these thermoplastic polymers are soft, weak, and less brittle. And these thermosetting polymers are very hard, strong, and more brittle. It cannot. These thermoplastic polymers can be reshaped many times from one structure to another structure. But thermosetting polymers we cannot reshape that. These thermosetting polymers are prepared by addition polymerization reaction. That's why we are getting linear or long chain polymers. There is no three-dimensional network. That's why it is soluble in all the organic solvents. But in case of here, it is formed by condensation polymerization reactions. So the three-dimensional network has been formed by strong covalent bond. Because of this three-dimensional network, it is insoluble in organic solvents. And these thermoplastic materials we can reclaim from wastes, but this thermosetting cannot be reclaimed from the waste. So here these thermoplastic polymers does not undergo any change during the molding process. There is no change in chemical composition as well as structure, but thermosetting polymers undergoes chemical change during the molding process. The interaction between linear chains in the case of thermoplastics are only weak van der Waals force, but in case of thermosetting, covalent bonds are there between the linear chains. Examples of thermoplastics are polyethylene, PVC, Teflon, the thermosetting bakelite, and polyester. We have to discuss about polyvinyl chloride now. Polyvinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is the monomer. These monomers are prepared by the reaction of acetylene with HCl. That HCl and acetylene undergoes reaction with in presence of metal as a catalyst. The reaction is taken place at 100 to 150 degrees centigrade, and it results in the formation of vinyl chloride monomer. This monomer undergoes polymerization reaction. That means it undergoes a free radical addition polymerization reaction, and it gives a polyvinyl chloride. So this reaction is catalyzed by benzyl peroxide radical initiator. The reaction has been taken place in the presence of autoclave under high pressure. Next, properties. So PVC does not have any color or odor. They are inert towards chemicals, and they are non-inflammable. And these PVC is soluble in case of ethyl chloride and ketones, and they are having resistance against light inorganic acids like acetyl, H2SO4, and alkalis, etc. PVC can be used to manufacture the tablecloths, raincoats, etc. These PVC can be used in the manufacturing of refrigerated compounds, motorcycle mudguards, and PVC pipes. Next one is phenol formol resin or bakelite. Bakelite is the resin which is prepared by condensation reaction of formaldehyde and phenol. Here, phenol and formaldehyde undergoes electrophilic substitution reaction in the presence of acid, and it results in the formation of ortho and para hydroxy methylphenol products. This OH is a ring activating group. That's why that ortho and para sites are more reactive. We are getting ortho hydroxy and para hydroxy methylphenols as a monomers. This ortho-hydroxy methylphenols undergoes a condensation reaction. Water is removed between these molecules, and it results in the formation of fusible Novalac structure. Next, in the final step, that excess of formaldehyde present in that reaction mixture can undergo further condensation reaction between these two Novalac linear structures, and they are giving a three-dimensional network. And the hexamethyl tetramine is added with the excess amount because to neutralize that excess amount of H2SO4 or HCl. This is the reaction mechanism. This is called as a bakelite. Because of this three-dimensional network, it is insoluble in organic solvents. It will be very hard. It will be more brittle, and we cannot reshape this. On heating, it will become infusible mass. Next, properties. They are rigid hard. Already we explained that. And they does not have any solubility in the case of organic solvents, and they are not conducting any electricity, so they can be used as electrical insulators. Applications: these bakelites are used in the manufacturing of equipments like switches, plugs, etc. They can be used to prepare telephone parts, radio, TV cabinets. They can be used in the case of paints and varnish, and they are used in the production of ion exchange resins. Next one is the polyphosphorines. These are the inorganic polymers. These polymers are containing phosphorus and nitrogen. Here or maybe chloride or orthoethoxy, that means methoxy or ethoxy. So these polydimethoxy or polydiethoxy phosphorines can be prepared by treating polyphosphonitrile chlorides with sodium methoxide. That means this is called as a polyphosphonitriles, nitrile chlorides. We have to add sodium methoxide with this compound at 250 degrees centigrade. The reaction has been taken place in case of vacuum and it gives a chain polymer. This is called as a polydimethoxy phosphosines or polydiethoxy phosphosines. Next one. Properties. These polymers exhibit high elasticity. Freshly prepared samples are soluble in chloroform, but it is not soluble in case of petroleum ethers. And these polymers will be in the form of gel, and cross-linked also formed during long time. So if you allow that material to stand in room temperature for a long time, then cross-link will be formed between the linear chains. Because of this cross-link, it will become brittle, and it may be and it should be stored in case of absence of air to avoid the formation of cross-link. The formation of this cross-link may change their chemical properties also. Sometimes ammonia will be developed in these polymers while forming that cross-link. And polydimethoxy or diethoxy phosphorines are colorless. They are transparent. They can be used to form a transparent film forming materials. Next, applications. They are having resistance towards oil and resistance towards water. So we can use this in case of aerospace components. Okay, they are not having attractive towards oil. That means they can be resistance towards water and oil. We can use in the case of aerospace components. So that linear phosphorus chains with oligoethoxy side chains are used as electrolytes, polymer electrolytes. We can use these phosphorines as a rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. We can use these as electrolytes in the case of rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. So lithium-ion batteries are the modern batteries. So in these batteries, we can use these polymers, that means phosphorines, as a polymer electrolytes. Next, these polyphosphorines with sulfonated aryl oxide side group. That means if that polyphosphorine contains side chain, aromatic side chain, sulfonated aromatic side chain, then we can use this as a ion exchange membrane. That means proton exchange membrane. We can use this as a proton exchange membrane. And then phosphorines are hydrogels. That means they are hydrogels in nature. So we can use these for drug release or other chemical applications.